You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Well, that sounds like March coming in like a lion. Another round of rain is hitting the county right now. Thanks for joining us here at 6 a.m., everyone. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Nadia Romper. You've likely heard that sound a lot here this morning. Yeah. We do have team coverage for you on this storm. Dana Marie McNichol and Chris Grow, they have a look at the conditions in Spring Valley along with Mission Beach. We're going to start with Evan. You're tracking the rain, Evan. I mean, we're hearing it here as well.
Yeah, we hear it all across the county, especially up toward North County. You're probably hearing it come down as we speak. We've got more rain on the way between now and about the noon hour. And right now, that next wave of more moderate to heavy rain is making its way up from North County as we speak. So again, that's right around the Oceanside area that it's impacting. If we move towards Solana Beach, you can see how those showers are coming through right now. Del Mar is about to see that next wave. So we've got more and more on the way. Wider look shows you how the last several hours have panned out from Central California all the way down through our coastline. It's been a wet start to the morning with rain, mountain snow, plenty of wind and colder temperatures. So wind is felt across the county. We've got gusts in the 40-50 mile per hour range. Temperatures are going to stay in the low 50s, more consistent with your overnight lows than your afternoon highs. And there's the possibility of another ½ an inch of precipitation in this storm with another foot of snow out there across the mountains. We'll walk through the next several days because today is the final day of this stormy weather before we start to move toward drier skies. We'll let you know what that looks like in just a few. But this storm is causing some flooding in parts of the county. CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol is live in Spring Valley on Quarry Road in an area prone to flooding. Dana Marie, I'll send things over to you. How are things looking?
Well, Evan, I can tell you that I think I'm getting more use out of this yellow rain jacket than any other piece of clothing in my wardrobe. But in terms of flooding, yes, this is an area that drivers need to look out for. And it's very obvious it happens a lot of the time when it floods. So take a look right next to me. It says, when flooded, don't turn around. Turn around, don't drown. And then another sign just a couple of feet behind it, flooded. Because as you can see, the water is very deep and it's moving fast. It's not just stagnant water. It's clearly a very, very high water here, and there's a lot of dangers that come with drivers that think that they can make it past that, which a lot of the times they can't. They'll get stuck and then they need to get rescued. And I know first responders are very busy during days like this with a lot of accidents on the road. So if we could prevent any of those accidents from happening, that's going to be the best for us here in San Diego. So of course, if you get into that water, you could lose control. Mechanical and electrical failures could happen. If the water is deep enough, it could reach the bottom of the car and it could cause the engine to stall, which could also entrap you in that flood water. It could cause electrical systems to fail, short circuit, leaving you without lights or other essential functions. There also could be some hidden dangers in the water, like debris, sharp objects, or hazards that can damage your car or cause injury to you or your passengers. Now, it is impossible to see what's below the water surface. You never really know what dangers could be lurking beneath. And now as the sun is slowly rising here in Spring Valley, you can really see what we have dealing with here. A little bit of rain, but over in Mission Beach where we have Chris Grow, he's looking at some of those conditions. Hi, Chris. Good morning.
I know you can't see us right now, but just wanted to let you know the squinting was not because I was like, it's Dana Marie tossing to me. It's because I got hit by wind. In fact, wind so strong you can see those light poles that are bending a little bit there with the force of the gusts that are coming in from the southwest. So again, we're not seeing rain coming down right now. In fact, a lot of the moisture, I would say, is probably that we're getting hit with is coming in from the ocean. So the main thing that we're keeping an eye on right now is that high surf as well as that wind. So the big question, though, of course, when we come out to Mission Bay is what will the status be at the end of the day of the boardwalk? We know that when we see conditions like this, especially with high surf, we could potentially see that boardwalk flood. Now, compared to the last time that we were out here and that happened, we don't see a lot of those early signs, so it does appear to be good for now. But again, as we know, anything can change. So the big thing is that if you do live in this area or anywhere that does have any type of flooding that normally happens, try to make sure that you have sandbags available. If not for today, then for the next event that we get like this. Again, guys, those sandbags can be very crucial to preventing flooding from inside, from that floodwaters getting from inside your home. Remember when the boardwalk flooded last time? We saw a lot of those vacation rentals just absolutely spoiled. But back out here live again, you can see over there by Belmont Park, the flags are blowing in the wind. They look like they're frozen with how straight they are. Obviously, the palm trees giving us a good idea of how strong the breeze is right now. But I think the question on a lot of folks' minds, are we going to be getting a refund on that sunshine tax we keep getting told about? I know it's tax season right now. We're all hoping for a refund from the IRS, from the state. Sunshine, Evan, Eric, Netta, I don't feel like we've been seeing too much of that lately. I was bragging to my friends that live in the Northeast back in December. Now, January, February, it's March 1st, guys. Nothing rhymes with March. Gray, that doesn't rhyme with March.
No.
Okay, there's no May gray, there's no June gloom here.
Right.
It's just March.
Harsh March? Maybe harsh March? Is that the best I could come up with? Does that work for you for now?
This first day
it does
of
look
March.
harsh out there.
Let's let the month prove itself to us.
That's true. We're kind of labeling it on the first day.
We'll see.
But it has been a little harsh, not unless you're a fan of the snow. If you like the snow, maybe heading up here to Julian, right?
Yeah.
This is nice up here. They got a brief break after that relentless storm, brought heavy snow and icy roads to the area, but now more is on the way. I do feel like I want to throw my ice skates on and just go right down the road right there.
That's probably slippery.
It looks pretty slick.
Yeah, because obviously it's cold enough. You could see a lot of ice on the roads. Many businesses on Main Street here, they had to close their doors early yesterday, so a heads up, you may notice that on different hours because they want to prepare for this. If you do plan to visit, officials are already warning people chains will be required. Roads, again, could be slick and pretty dangerous for you. But we will see calmer weather soon, as Evan will tell us. That might be a better time to head up. This morning, we're getting a look at the impact of the storms on the rest of the state. Take a look. So this is in Placer County, in a smaller community called Forest Hill. It's lower in elevation, but all of that snow is still coming down there. In fact, it caused a porch to collapse under the weight of that heavy snow, and sadly, an 80-year-old woman was trapped. She later died. Meanwhile, heavy rains, melting snowpacks have triggered fears of mudslides in LA County, like this one right there on the right of your screen. It shut down part of Mulholland Drive. Yeah, Mulholland. At least one home was damaged. Nobody was hurt there.
We want to see the weather where you live, or if you have any potential damage, just take those photos or videos if it's safe to do so, and you can share them right there on the CBS 8 app.
Yeah, you go to the Near Me section. You'll see it on the app there at the bottom. Click on the Share With Us button, and we will get it. And you may see it right here on our newscast.
Look, there's a lot of structures here in Southern California that aren't necessarily built for feet of snow.
Right.
And that snow, when it's wet, it can be heavy. It can be damaging, that's for sure.
Yeah, we kind of rely on viewers to be our eyes and ears for a lot of the stormy weather that we see across our county. So send in your photos and videos. You can even just take a quick step outside, snap a photo or video, maybe do so from the window where you're not getting wet out there. And we'd love to see how you're starting off your Wednesday morning. It's 6:08 right now. The sun would normally be coming up around this time, and we do have a little bit of light coming through, but not all that much. Mount Soledad is shaking in the wind. We've got cloud cover very dense. We've got temperatures in the cooler than average range, and they continue that way all the way through the rest of the day. Chance of showers is most intense between now and about 8 to 10 a.m. After the noon hour, that'll drop down to about a 20% chance. You see how gusty these westerly winds are as we speak. They're going to remain gusty through 10 p.m. today. 24 miles per hour in Poway, 28 in Sill Hill, 36 in Julian, and 39 in Boulevard to kick off the morning. You can see the yellow tones on here indicating how it is gusty county-wide. Between now and 6 p.m., an additional 0.3 of an inch possible in Oceanside, 0.3 in Carlsbad, 0.7 in Ramona, and the liquid equivalent across those mountaintops usually translates to this is about 1/10 of what you can expect for them in terms of snow. So that could mean another 9 inches of snow for Palomar Mountain, another 13 inches for Mount Laguna. This is more of a rain-snow mixture for Julian, right? Because right now that snow cutoff is at about 4,000 feet. So it's going to start off, and it mainly is rain right now in Julian, but throughout the rest of the day, that snow level is going to be cut in half in many cases, and that'll drop us down to about 2,000, perhaps even 1,500 feet for our snow cutoff. Between late tonight and tomorrow, notice those numbers don't climb at all. That's because we are going to dry out throughout the evening and then early morning hours of tomorrow. That's why our rain chances look like this. 100% right now for your Wednesday, dropping down to 12% for Thursday, and then staying low all the way through the weekend and into early next week. We've got conditions outside right now showing plenty of rain. 52 right now in Oceanside, 50 in Escondido, 53 in Chula Vista as those gusty winds come through. You can find an extended weather forecast on CBS 8 Plus, which is free on Roku and Amazon Fire. That's where we give you everything you need to know in a much more unabridged version. So you can get that extended forecast anywhere you get your apps as well. Let's take a look at how things are shaping up as far as road conditions go right now. So far, we do not have any major crashes or collisions. That is a very good thing for what a wet start to the morning it is, likely because volume is still very light out there. We anticipate that as that morning commute starts to pick up, things are going to start to change. So we encourage you to take it slower out there on the roads, drive more for what your road conditions look like as opposed to what you're normally used to, because that rain is definitely pooling and ponding on the roadways, and we've also got that wind. So East County wind is going to be something that we keep an eye on for those high-profile vehicles. Now to Eric, back to you.